And there's pressure on President Akufo-Addo to dismiss Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who has been accused of mismanaging the economy. Former President Mahama and some economists have already made that call, while Deputy Ranking Member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Isaac Adongo, believes Mr. Ofori-Atta does not have the capacity to lead the country into negotiations with the IMF. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has the rest of the story.
When we were told to go at the time when we could walk there, we refused until we were carried in clutches and arrived at the IMF.
As government prepares to negotiate its 18th program with the IMF, government has to put a team together. But there are already renewed calls for Finance Minister to be sacked. Ken Ofori-Atta had persistently said government was not going to seek an IMF bailout and is now being accused of mismanaging the economy. According to Deputy Ranking Member on the Finance Committee, Isaac Adongo, Ken Ofori-Atta will not be trusted by the IMF.
Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't have the capacity, the integrity that is required to lead an IMF program. You see, when Ken Ofori-Atta moved from data bank and business to manage the economy, he needed to recalibrate. The skill sets are not the same. The capacity is not the same. He needed to recalibrate. But you cannot recalibrate capacity you don't have. To recalibrate to become a fit-for-purpose finance minister that can deal with fiscal policy, that can deal with financial stability, the macroeconomy, and work with monetary policy authorities, require that you must already have that skill set, which you had buried because the work you were doing did not require it. So you recalibrate and bring it on board, but you didn't have it. The international capital market doesn't trust him. But as usual, the president is at pains to protect him and to keep him.
He's suggesting economists and businessmen like Kwame Pianim and Sam Jonah to lead Ghana's negotiation team.
You see, when they say they have the men, they have the men. You see where they are. They should look for Kwame Pianim immediately. He's the one who can save them. To lead this team. They should go and get Ishmael Jansen to be there. Get Sam Jonah, the best brains of our country. Because this job is the equivalent of 1983 challenge.
He claims if Ken Ofori-Atta is kept at post, Ghana will get a bad deal with the fund.
To tell the president the posturing of IMF will set group of people. Once the IMF believes that they don't trust Ken, the capital market doesn't trust Ken, he doesn't have commitment towards IMF program and only want to appropriate the name of IMF and pretend to the international community that we are on a program so they'll bring back the money again. The IMF, I assure you, if you insist, will front load the milestones and the corrections that must be done, and assign the flow of monies into the economy to the achievement of the milestones and the targets. And when they front load them, and 1 year later you are not achieving them, no penny is coming to this country.
Officials of the IMF are arriving in Ghana today for formal talks to begin with the government of Ghana on Wednesday in terms of what specific program the government will sign on to. This will be the 18th time the country is going to IMF for support, and there are those who already say this will be a painful one for the Ghanaian citizen. Isaac Adongo has also been lashing out at Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who he says has led the economy aground.
So if there is any vice president and head of economic management team who was given unbridled powers and authority and endorsement ever in our country, it is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This was the man who was doing inflation calculation at Malata, and you were clapping for him. Which serious economists will see stability, small stability in the market, in the forex market, and say he has arrested the cedi or the dollar?
The next few weeks will be crucial for the negotiation, with organized labor already sounding the caution they will not tolerate any IMF deal that brings hardship on the Ghanaian worker.